So I'm going to do my V. I'm actually going to start kind of in the middle here by soaping it up, drying off my hands. Get a length that goes past the bottom of the V. Tuck that bottom leg in of your insert into your molding. Push it under to get it started. I'm using my bottom hand to line up the rubber insert into the bottom of the molding. And I'm using my top hand to guide the tool and the rubber insert into the molding. You could work all the way to the top here, but I'm going to go back down to the bottom. I'm tucking the bottom in, and I'm going to use the tool to guide that top edge in, just like that. So my thumb is guiding the bottom, the tool is guiding the top down and into that track. Okay, so I've almost got it. We got another inch there. Okay, so I've got it all the way down except like the last ½ inch there. I'm going to start cutting it shorter and shorter so that we get closer to it fitting. It's got to go to the other side, so, or we don't want it to go to the other side. So we're going to cut it shorter and try and tuck it under. So I'm going to cut it wide, way out there, remove some of the excess, and then check it. See it? I'm going to cut a little bit more. Check it. Okay, so that's not too bad. I'll try and tuck it under again. So you can see it's starting to go. So now that I've got a better idea of where it's going to end, I'm going to take the razor blade and cut it right down the middle. Okay, so I cut it right down the middle there. You're going to want this real dry now. If you don't get it dry, it's going to keep popping out because of the soap. So I've got it tucked under, but it looks like it still needs to be shortened up a little bit more. And there it is. Looks like the soap is making it pop out, so I'm going to have to keep drying it. I'll let that sit for a minute. I'll work on the top and I'll come back down to this. Now that I've got the end in, I've got to cut it shorter so that I can get the right length. So I've cut it shorter. It's in. I dry it off. I'm pushing it down. Before I trim this to length, I'm going to just force it in and make sure it's in the right spot. There we go. Okay. I'm going to let that sit for a couple minutes, let the soap do what it's going to do, and go back to the bottom. So I'm going to use this plastic piece to just push down to set that corner in. And that's about it. It looks good. So now we're going to do the other side. We're going to start in the middle, work our way down, work at the top. First thing first, soap it up. Make sure that it hangs longer than the joint. Begin to tuck it under. I've got about 1 inch on it. I'm using my finger to guide it, my top hand with the tool to force in the top. All the way to the edge there. Now the bottom. I'm going to wipe up some of the excess soap. It's about the right length. Again, with the tool, I'm using my thumb to guide it on the bottom there. It's going. I need to dry off some of this soap. I've got the bottom edge tucked in. I actually think I'm going to cut some of that length. That's just some of the excess length there. Okay, so I've got it almost all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to cut it again. I need to cut this little tail, so I'm going to cut the angle again. I'm actually using the molding itself as my guide. You guys might not be able to see this. There we go. Now I've got that angle. I'm going to force it down in the bottom and then force it down into the top like that. Dry it again. All right, so I'm just pushing the bottoms in together to meet. Like that. So let's cut the top and we'll be done. So I'm going to cut the top long. Be real careful with the paint. So I've cut the top long. And then I'm going to finish tucking it in. So it's long now, and then I'm going to just use the edge of the aluminum track, the aluminum molding, as my guide to finish it off. There it is.